this is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing my full review of the ProTech Runt 5. But first, please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. And let's talk about this guy right here. So we have the Runt 5. This is the fifth iteration of the Runt. It is by ProTech, and ProTech is a company based in Southern California. They're mostly known for their autos and mostly known for their out the side autos. That's their, claim to fame. And they do it really well. They are, if I want an out the side auto, which just means, instead of like a Microtech where it goes out the front, it's out the side. If I want an out the side auto, especially one that is, sub 2 inches or on the smaller side, ProTech is the way to go. Now they do make larger autos and they have knives that are not automatic. They have the Malibu, which everyone knows, everyone loves. I do not have a Malibu. I know, it's so crazy, but never really did it for me. I'm kind of flippered out. I have my, my fair share of flippers. I got my VBR. I got my areas. I got my, I'm set on the flipper end, but button locks aren't my thing really either. So Malibu wasn't for me, but I am a huge fan of the other ProTech models, and this was kind of a nice surprise. They revamped the Runt, which was their, I think it might have been their first model. The Runt, I guess, started it all for ProTech, and they've been doing, updates and new iterations, new variations of the Runt for years. And this just came out this past year. They had kind of like a Warncliffe-ish blade shape on one of the variations, and then of course the reverse tanto on this one. To me, this is just the more attractive blade shape. For me, more functional too, because I can kind of, choke up my finger right at the tip. It's more comfortable for me, and it looks damn sexy, way better than the Warncliffe, for me at least. Now, it is an auto, and it hits super, super hard. Like it really wants to jump out of your hand. I think they use the same springs that they use on their larger autos, and they use those same springs for their smaller autos like this guy. So when you hit the button, it is hitting hard. I mean, it is super snappy. Let's go ahead and do a quick size comparison, because of course this is a small knife. I would consider it, I think this is sub 2 inches. I would consider it definitely on the smaller side, and you can see how it fits my hand well, and we'll talk ergos pretty soon, but it is a knife that can fit in the palm of your hand, kind of inside your hand. Let's go ahead and get the size comparison rocking. We'll go ahead, I have my VBR right here, which of course is gonna tower over the Runt, and I have my Benchmade Mini Freak, which is kind of in between. Go ahead and get these guys rearranged. You can see I have a particular favorite color. Let's go ahead and get the measuring tape out. Yeah, so this is just under 2 inches on the blade, about 5 overall. We know that the Mini Freak is 3 and 7, and then of course the VBR coming in at 3.5 and just about 8. So definitely on the smaller side, but for a small knife, the ergos are pretty damn good, and we'll go ahead and talk about that in just a second. I'm gonna get the Mini Freak out of the way, and by the way, my full review for the VBR is coming up pretty soon, so I will have that video posted for you guys. And let's go ahead and let's talk blade steel real quick. So ProTech, they use, for most of their knives, of course, they're using aluminum for the handles. This is aluminum, really really nice aluminum. And like the texture is awesome, super smooth, not slippery, but super smooth and comfortable, chamfered, knocked down, rounded out edges all over. You also have some great textured, kind of the scalloped jimping, I guess you'd call it, but nice little spot for your thumb to land. Let's go and get a close up. Really cool. So I haven't seen that before on a knife, so I really appreciate that. It gives my thumb a little bit of grip. But ProTech mostly uses aluminum for their handles. They do make a few different knives in other materials. There is a Malibu that's in titanium. I'm not sure if they use titanium for their other knives, or maybe for special editions, but they also have, I have a Calmigo by ProTech that is in stainless steel, which is pretty epic. So they definitely have other handle materials they use, but I'd say their kind of mainstay handle material is aluminum, which is great. I have no problem with that. Sometimes aluminum can feel a little cheap or flimsy, but whatever kind of aluminum they're getting or whatever they're doing to it, it feels great in my hand. Now, as far as blade steel goes, ProTech usually uses, I think it's 154 cm. I always get CPM 150. No. CPM 154 is the nicer version. Yeah. So I think they normally use 154 cm, and which is a good steel. Don't get me wrong, but they've upgraded this to 20 CV, as you can see right there. So it's nice. It's nice that the newer models that they're coming out with. I know the Malibus are in 20 CV. It's good to see kind of an upgrade in blade steel. You can see the ProTech logo, ProTech USA. Really cool thing about this is about this knife and all ProTech knives is they are made in the USA. Of course, that's where I live, and they are also made in Southern California. They're doing everything in-house in their factory, and it is definitely a small business. Even though everyone knows ProTech, but it's definitely a small business, and Dave runs the show there, and he's crushing it. So we have a stonewash finish on the reverse tanto blade. Stonewash is looking pretty good. Stonewash it's not my favorite blade finish, but looks good on this guy. Of course, we have a reverse, not reverse, what's it called? A deep carry pocket clip. And it is sunk into the scale, which is great. ProTech crushes these clips. I like the ProTech clips not only because it is deep carry, but it is also sunk into the scale. So that's not going to catch on your pants. You can't even see that there are screws there. Really nice. And it's easy in and out of pocket. When I was carrying this guy, it's just comfortable. It's a light knife. For if you're wearing shorts or like a fifth pocket knife, it works really well. And this is my pick for like ultimate box cutter. For if you need to open a ton of packages or cut labels or anything, or you order from Amazon a lot, whatever it is, this is it. I mean, this is the end all be all of package opening. The blade shape makes it super easy and comfortable. Reverse tanto crushes any tape or boxes. I know it seems like a silly thing, but you're not gonna do hard use with this knife. But it has great blade steel and durable aluminum. It's not gonna slip out of your hand. It has this scalloped pattern for your thumb. A little bit of jimping action. Ergos are pretty comfortable. I don't feel the clip at all. Comfortable on the clip. I get a 3-finger grip, which is all I need. If you don't need to choke up like this, but if you are going to be cutting a package or cutting something out or doing what I was doing with this knife, I feel like this is the better grip. Getting your pointer finger up near the tip. But it can be done. Yeah. I don't know, I did not use, although it does feel comfortable with this grip, I did not use this particular grip that much. I was more choked up. So anyway, ergos are good. It is a small knife, but it is comfortable for my hand. And, you know, just a spoiler alert, there aren't that many negatives with this knife. There are not that many downsides. I'll go ahead and get into the downsides real quick, but, you know, just a heads up, overall, this is a super, you know, functional, really kind of tough, hard-hitting, functional, convenient mini auto, you know, sub 2 inches. So if you live somewhere where having an auto over 2 inches is frowned upon or illegal, you can get away with this, hopefully. Of course, Knife Standards is not a lawyer, but if there are restrictions, this might be passable. One of the downsides of this knife is, at least for me, is when I went to check the, and this goes with, I think, all ProTechs, if not most of them, when I went to go check the hardware, if you notice, this is actually Allen, I think it's an Allen key, so the Torx is not going to work. Now, is that a big deal? No. Is it a downside? Yes. I prefer all of my stuff in, you know, T8 or T10. If it's in T6, okay, fine. Hopefully I don't strip the screw, but on my desk right now, I do not have Allen key. And if we look, oh, now see, now that's, to me, that's even weirder that these are, let's see, T6 maybe? All right, so the clips, okay, so I don't get it. I don't know. The clip screws are T6, and then the rest are Allen key. Is that what you call it, Allen key? I think so. Anyway, so that's kind of annoying. Definitely a downside for me. It would be great if they were all T8, or if they were all the same, if they were all Torx, or even if they were all the Allen key. At least I could use one tool to disassemble the knife if I needed to. Now, am I in a hurry to disassemble an an automatic knife? Not really. I don't think I need to disassemble this, but if I wanted to, I definitely would like it to be as convenient as possible. Another downside is, and this is just aesthetically, this little gap between the blade and the handle. I mean, does that bother you guys? It just kind of bugs me. It's just like this floating blade, and then what's going on here? The design is great when the blade is deployed. This looks amazing. This is kind of that, reverse tanto, almost sheep's foot-ish, but not quite. Is reminiscent of the Malibu, or one of the versions of the Malibu, even though the Runt came well before the Malibu. But when you go to close the knife, there's just this gap, which just kind of irks me a little bit. That just about covers the downsides for this knife. The stonewash could be a downside for some people. Sometimes it's a downside for me, but for what I was doing with this knife, cutting packages, getting tape and glue and all crap on it, stonewash worked out great. So for what this knife I feel like is designed for, having kind of a convenient, useful fifth pocket knife or backup, or just like instead of a box cutter, or instead of a utility knife, I feel like they crushed it. ProTech crushed it, and they did a great job. So that just about covers it. They make, I think, 3, 4, 5 different versions of this. One of the versions is a aluminum bronze, which I'm very interested in trying and handling. I've seen it before in person, did not have a chance to handle it, and I'm curious mostly to see how it develops and how it patinas. Of course, this is just 100% aluminum, is not going to change that much, or if at all, because it is, it doesn't have that bronze mixture in it. I don't know exactly how they do it for the aluminum bronze, but I'd be curious to see how that guy patinas and kind of changes the more you use it. This guy is blue. It's my favorite color. That's a huge plus for me, huge upside. It cuts well. It's a great box cutter, great utility knife. The action is snappy. And one more thing that I forgot that may not be a downside for most people, but it does not have a safety. So, you know, is there that chance that it could go off in your pocket? Yeah. Is it likely? No, but I definitely prefer my my Calmigo to the Runt, and I might even do like a showdown between the Calmigo and the Runt because they're so similar. But you know, it's just the button. There's no safety, so you're kind of on your own for you know, hanging out in your pocket, or you know, clipped to your belt, or in your jeans pocket, in your fifth pocket in your jeans. You know, it's never gone off on me, but it is possible because there isn't a safety. So overall, really solid knife, really snappy. And of course, I will be on the lookout for different versions of this and new ProTech stuff that they have coming. I just saw they're coming out with something in Magna Cut, so very exciting stuff from them. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Knife Standards. I will catch you later.